Okay, on the first
No, we're not.
podcast of the channel.
Hi, guys.
Hello, hello, hello.
It's our very first podcast here in Aey and Mel's channel.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
We usually have our morning talks, but we figured because it is our officially our well, not officially, but it's already been a year of full time travel. So we've
Yeah.
been some of you guys have been watching, but if you haven't been watching, check out our channel. We've been traveling around the world. I'm just checking out the time here, but we've been traveling around the world, and I think we have so many stories to tell. Now we figured that every time we meet some of our families or friends, we tell them a lot of stories, and there are still a lot of stories that doesn't get into the stories when we talk about. So especially because moving into a different countries, sometimes you do forget some of the stories. So we figured that we are gonna start this podcast while we're there. So for example, we're in this country. It's just because we're recording it now, and it's a bit surprised where we are. So we don't want to say where we are. But there are experiences that we experience here that we want to kind of document as well. So that's my motivation for starting this podcast. But maybe April, what's your reason for starting? Why did you agree that we?
Yeah, I guess that's why we decided to, for me, for my own opinion, I wanted to also document it raw. Like, we decided to document by podcast so we can have an actual raw experience while we're actually in that country, you know? Because I've noticed we've been through a lot of countries, but there's so many experiences that we're not even catch on camera. So we're like, moving forward, we decided to just have a podcast so we can share our experience and maybe can learn from here a thing or two on our actual experience.
Yeah.
So that helps with like
It's different when you're recording outside,
Mhm.
like when you're, say for example, we're exploring the country and then you're talking about it, versus when you have the time to actually pause and think about like what was the experience, because when you're there and you're filming and you're also experiencing at the same time, sometimes you're not able to articulate as well what you're thinking and how you're processing this feeling. So for us, this one is a bit loaded because this is our one full year of travel. So
And I feel like just one video is not enough for a year.
we'll see.
So
It might be condensed.
we'll see how it goes. If we need to like extend it, or we can wrap up.
That's why I was checking the timer, because
So this is a reminder for us that it's already like it's been a year. Can you imagine it? And we're still here, we're still going.
maybe like, so let's start with like, how are you feeling in general, like for 1 year of travel? Well, where is your head at? What's your
How am I feeling is like my mood right now is pretty okay, I guess, because like you can't really tell your whole experience, but in general, I feel like when I was back then, like not being a nomad, not doing this documentation and stuff. In my head, I said I should have done this many years now. And now that I'm here, I was like, there's no other world that I can imagine myself in.
Yeah,
So I
I
was
can't
like,
imagine having a different
a different world than this world that I'm currently in. So
in a score of 1 to 10. How do you feel? Like right now, right now.
yeah. 8.
8.
Yeah. I don't know. My rating is different.
Yeah.
Varies a lot too. Because I can't say 10 because I have a lot of
Yeah.
things to like my goals and stuff. So I'll probably put an 8 to it. It's not bad. It's
Yeah.
like 8. But how about you? How do you feel about the whole experience?
The whole experience. Well, let me begin with like right now. I'm a bit sick, to be honest. So
Yeah.
right now I don't know if you can hear it in my voice.
Our flu is like turning back and forth for 1 month now.
Because you're
He got flu first, and then, well, I got the flu obviously because we're together. And then he got back the flu after the rain.
After she recovered, I got it, and then when I recover,
It's because of the weather.
yeah.
It's just what you use when you travel, what you get to
Well, stay tuned where we are at. Why it's a bit weird weather, but in general, I think when we started this journey, I would say at the first country that we went, so we weren't really documenting everything. We were in Thailand. So in Thailand, everything was so uncertain. Like I was so we just left our jobs. We went full time traveling. We didn't even set out to start a channel. So I see some people they actually do it on purpose. Like I'm gonna quit my job and start a YouTube channel,
Yeah.
and then travel the world. For us, it was more internally. We thought there's gonna be something more to life than just working. And if you haven't watched the why we left the Philippines, because we were born in the Philippines, so there's a different um origins to
Yeah.
why we started migrating to different countries. But why we left Australia is a different story. So at the beginning, it was very uncertain. So even though a lot of people see that Thailand is very nice, very tropical, it's a vacation spot, on our first stop there, it was so uncertain. So I think in 1 year, I cannot. It feels like my emotions has been up and down. So
Yeah.
at the beginning, it would be maybe a 1 or 2. Like
It's like a roller coaster.
I wanna you're so out of your comfort zone. Now in the middle of it was more stable, but sometimes when we go to a certain country, you feel uncertainty as well, and then you go back down, and then when you get a hang of it,
Get comfortable.
you get comfortable, and then you start to ramp up again, and then you gain some small wins, you gain some support from people, you get some nice comments from nice folks, then you get a high, you feel nice and elated, and then sometimes you get sick as well. So there, it's like in general, it's just like in life. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's not. I guess some misconception would be like if I'm in this world, if I'm traveling the world, I'm always, you know, I'm always happy. That's not the case. It is really a roller coaster, but everything is in the extreme. I would say so.
Extreme ends.
Yeah, so it's an extreme up and down, I would say. So, long story short, I I'm okay. I'm up and down, so there's no extreme happiness. But I would say I'm a 7 or 8 as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Next question.
Yeah.
So, in like how many countries? I can't even keep up how many. I'm not even sure if we're on 10,
yeah,
12. Are we 10, 12? We started in Thailand.
yeah.
Should we man?
So we went. Okay, let's count it now. So we went. So in total, like before we actually traveling, like documenting our travels, we've been traveling as well
Yeah.
for work and for vacation. So before we went this route where we're traveling full time, I think we've been to around 20 countries already.
Because we're currently on 26.
Oh really?
countries.
So maybe
half of it.
15, 15?
Half of it, yeah.
Maybe 15. So but this past year we went to, let's start
So you started traveling, documenting.
full time, yeah. We went to Thailand, Vietnam,
Yeah.
Korea,
Turkey.
Turkey, Romania. Then where did we head after Romania? Budapest?
Hungary.
Budapest, Hungary. And then we went to Germany, Portugal,
But yeah, Portugal,
and then the United States.
United States, and
Then we want. So that's that. We don't know.
There's a few
There's just a couple of surprises.
wait, there's a few
We
more
haven't-
countries. So
yeah.
I think we're on. Wait,
I think this
I'm
full year,
counting. This is so we're in America, right?
but full year, just 1 year is 10 countries.
Oh, 10 countries.
Yes.
Yeah.
So because we're technically we're
This is
past
the
we
year-
past we're
year-
past the 1 year already. So 10 countries. So that's not counting the
'Cause, America is our 1 year celebration of traveling.
But do we want to
That's
try to count the other countries that we went before we traveled? It's quite a
total we have 26.
26. So there's some notable ones are we went to Amsterdam, Japan,
But other countries,
Greece.
we just stayed there for a long period of time, so I'm not really
Short
sure.
period.
Short period of time.
So Sydney, where our home base is in Sydney. So we were born in Philippines. Where else did we go?
We've been through a lot of countries.
So
we've been
Paris, France,
Fiji,
Fiji,
Greece, Japan,
Indonesia,
Malaysia, Thailand,
Singapore. Actually, we
a
stayed
lot.
a couple of years in
This
Singapore as
is
well.
even before we go
If
travel
you're-
full time.
Yeah, that's before the pre-YouTube era. So we don't wanna.
So which
If you're interested, comment down
do
below.
not include the countries we've been traveling when we were not.
Okay, so this 1 year is 10 countries.
Those 10 countries. So those 10 countries, which one is your favorite and why?
Which one is my favorite?
Favorite countries and why? Do you have more or is it just one?
Favorite country right now.
Yeah.
If I for some reason, if I'm thinking about it, I think I would.
Wait. Let me wrap it up. Let me wrap it up. So I was like, I mean, the 3 questions. Like, so I'm gonna ask the best country
Okay.
and why. The most surprising country, like the most you didn't expect it to be, like that country.
Yeah.
And the third one is the worst country. So let's wrap it to 3, so you can answer it all. So you can have it imaginary instead of me asking you one by one. To have a category.
I think my best. Well, we're talking about experience, right? Like best experience personally, our point of view, not
opinion.
yeah, and my I guess, and obviously this is depending on each and everyone's point of view. Like my favorite, my best is not best for everyone.
This
based
is
on my
opinion,
experience. So my best experience, I would say, is Turkey. For some reason, like I'm trying to think about it now, and I'm anchoring on Turkey just because, and it's also I guess like it's because the experience was so unique that I didn't like in all the country that I've been to. It's not something that I would expect. There were so many, I would say, assault to the senses. It's like the sights. You see the mosque in the skyline. The food was different, but it's not to say that it was the most comfortable. So that's why I'm saying like because the best is maybe it was the most challenging for me. That's why it feels like because I didn't think because we stayed in Turkey for 3 months.
Yeah.
So for me, it was more, oh, this is a challenging place. I didn't realize it would be such a. It felt so good to be able to acclimate to the country, to be able to feel at home after some time. It was and like being so unnerved at the beginning because there were a lot of cultural change, like cultural shock. Like in the morning, you would hear loud prayers from the mosque. So this is something that you can't imagine your senses, like the sights, sounds, and tastes, and then just walking around, like the people, like some are wearing the what do you call it? Like when you wear the all black, the women, some of the women are wearing like is it burqa? I don't know. I don't remember the name.
Correct us if we're wrong.
I'm definitely wrong, but yeah, it's more and not speaking the language. So you gotta consider, guys, that when we go to these countries, some of these countries we don't even know how to say hello.
Their language. Yeah.
And so to be able to survive and then live day by day and meeting some people, we made some friends there as well, like the guy who always served us the food. Cause we found this place that we always go to. So I don't think it gives it's not the best for me because it's the most comfortable. It's more I felt like I grew a lot more living in that country. So I would say Turkey. So I don't want to wrap up the three in because it is
Yeah.
quite a discussion, right?
Yeah.
So maybe what's your best country first?
You will probably find this you'll probably find this weird,
Mm.
probably unexpected to
Mm.
say the least, but I feel like my favorite country is Thailand.
Thailand,
Yeah.
the first country.
But like that's the like what how do you say in this how do I say in the word like because it's extreme in everything. I
Mm.
feel like I highlighted the country as the best country for me
Why? Why is it?
because I think that's when we decided to
Mm.
jump in and take the leap.
Mm.
So in my mind, even though it's challenging, that's the best country for me because that's
It's like your first. Is it like it's like your first.
what
It's like your
first
you know
love.
the saying like oh you never forget your first
First
love.
love. Yeah, it's meant like that. Because like you, like literally, we decided to leave our home, like our
Yeah.
comfort zone and
Yeah.
everything, and now we're in the country where we don't even speak their language. Well,
Well, it's very friendly there.
yeah, it's very friendly, but we have a lot of challenge
Yeah.
there, mentally,
Yeah.
physically, and a lot. But yeah,
So it's more your
Okay.
emotional. You like it so much because of your emotions of the memory that the fact that we made the jump as a
Yeah.
nomad in.
like mentally as well, because it's not easy to go around there
Yeah.
carrying because we have a big luggage when we
Yeah.
started. So we're
And we were
carrying
big newbies then. So when we first arrived in Thailand, maybe what were the
yeah.
common mistakes that we did when we first arrived in Thailand? Like, because it was our first country. What was our
We
newbie
stayed-
mistakes?
UV mistakes is like staying short term in a place
Hmm.
that you're not in. Oh, I mean, like, because you're not familiar how you will stay in a place yet. So you're trying to like adjust to it slowly, and then figuring out staying in a city is not for us. So, yeah. So when we decided to get out of the city in Thailand, we kind of have a breather, but it's still different in that stage. And yeah, I like Thailand for me.
It's interesting because we always talk as well, like our day to day. We have these talks, me and April, but I didn't. It's still a bit. I think you were all. April was still surprised that now thinking about it, Turkey
Yeah.
was my favorite, and then I didn't know April's favorite was Thailand because of
Now-
just the emotions.
Now that this is actually happening, we're still kind of surprised how we conversate. I feel like we thought we knew what we want. We
Yeah.
knew like until now, like right now, we're actually thinking about, oh, really? It's Turkey, and Mel is gonna be like, oh, really? It's Thailand.
Yeah.
So
I thought you were gonna say like Thailand because I got all you get the massage. The infrastructure was very nice because obviously I was there.
yeah, apart from that, but like the challenge behind it, because like we do massage in Sydney, so
Yeah.
like getting massage in Australia, but like it's a different one because it's too comfortable for us.
Well, I guess like you see from the conversation like the best doesn't always mean like comfortable and fancy and happy and it's more a lot of it is more well based on what I'm hearing from what we just said is more a lot of it's your emotions internally and it's more a reflection of you
Yeah.
rather than the place
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
But maybe like what is your worst then? Like if you're
Worst?
Yeah,
I don't
worst
even have an
experience.
unexpected country yet. We're gonna jump to worst.
oh unexpected is the second, is it?
Well, I guess my unexpected is Turkey.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Turkey kind of like really blow my mind up. It was like, oh, so there's really a different, a different type of experience because we've been traveling to Asia. You're used to Asia. You're born in Asian
Mhm.
countries. So jumping into a country that you don't know of,
Yeah.
and there's already like influence from social media and what you search on. You kind of still experience the whole thing once you're there, different.
Yeah.
So that's why it's surprising to me.
Turkey.
Yeah.
I guess like we didn't also like, maybe if you haven't watched some of our videos, Turkey, we stayed in several places, so not just the.
Yeah, we went around 3 different areas in.
Sorry. Yeah, I still have the flu. So if I cough here and there,
So yeah, Turkey actually kind of surprised me in a lot of ways.
we did also stay in like the countryside of Turkey. So
Traveled.
we didn't. If you're thinking that we only experienced just the touristy side of Istanbul. So we did that. We stayed there. We lived like a local essentially for 3 months. We did the Asia and Europe side. We did the in the province area. Actually, we didn't do the very touristy part like the hot air balloons
Yeah,
in
we didn't do
Cappadocia.
that.
So it feels like there's still some things in Turkey that we can come back to.
Yeah.
And that's your most unexpected.
Yeah. And no, I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, it's like I just want to like correct myself.
Yeah.
It's like instead of saying worst country, because
Yeah.
there's no worst country. It's just like depends on how you experience the country itself. So I was like, because if I'm gonna categorize worst country, I have a like wild and bad experience in Turkey, but like it's still not like
What's the wild thing? Oh, wait, do we want to talk about that?
I want to correct the wording. Like,
Yeah.
what's the most challenging country for you?
Yeah.
Because like worst is like not labeling the country.
But I haven't done the unexpected yet.
Yeah, because you just asked me, so you can do it. If you want.
What do you mean if
Wait, I'm just asking about the worst because you didn't answer it. So
But you did the unexpected. So I should do the
no,
unexpected too.
because I'm thinking my unexpected should I. So I'm jumping in.
You're jumping in different
No,
questions.
what I mean is because when I said unexpected Turkey, but I also have a bad experience there.
So that's also your worst.
So now I'm like thinking.
Okay, so that's your.
The worst country because it's just based on how you experience the country. It's not the country itself.
So it's your worst experience. So what's your worst experience in Turkey?
Turkey? Yeah, when I know we weren't able to sleep for a month.
Why? Why weren't we able? So
Oh, the Airbnb, the host is crazy. Crazy.
That's the story.
Allowed to-
No, it's okay because we're not gonna say who it is or what part of Turkey it is, but
So we stayed.
this is an Airbnb horror story.
This is an Airbnb horror story.
Okay, tell us the
Okay.
experience.
So I booked it for 30 days, and then I found out in most of the countries to visit, for some reason, this is just my opinion, okay? In Turkey, the Airbnb reviews are not accurate. So I was like,
Something you guys should be aware of.
Because I was like, I've been to Airbnb long enough to know who's superhost, who's like guest favorites, like all this.
Even the restaurants.
To find out if the host is actually a proper host, like
We did all our research, blah blah blah.
So I booked this one in this area. I don't want to close.
Don't say the area.
So I booked it for 30 days. And then for some reason they just called us or emailed us that something happened in that
They
area.
messaged us.
They messaged us. So I booked it, and then for some reason they say, "Oh, there's something wrong with our Airbnb. There's a water leak or something that we can't, like, they can't book us there anymore." So I said to her, "Well, then just cancel my booking so I can like move somewhere else, right?" So instead of that, I don't know if this guy's actually a he or a she because there's no photo, like actual photo.
Actually, it was weird because the profile was a she and
And then the guy, the one
was
who's
it.
answering us, it was male. So so the guy just says, "Oh, I'm just gonna offer you another place. It's much bigger and blah blah blah." And we say it's nice and stuff, but you need to pay more. So I was like, "Well, just cancel my booking then."
We didn't pay for it, but we didn't.
So he says, don't, he said, it's fine. I'm just gonna book you there so you can be
For
comfortable.
free.
It's luxury, so he's highlighting
So
these things.
we didn't pay for it, so now he's like, oh, okay, I'll give it. He because we were opting to cancel it.
Yeah, because we're saying if there's a problem with it, just cancel my booking, right?
We'll just find another one.
We're not forcing you to book us up, put us in a more bigger space just for free or something. But yeah, he said, yeah, it's okay, you can stay there.
Our mistake was
Our mistake
accepting
was
it.
accepting it. It's the horror story of our Airbnb experience. The most
Worst
the worst
of the whole year.
experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
And because we stayed there for 30 days, we figured out the host is just living on top of us. Like literally, because we're in
The floor above.
yeah, the floor above. And this whole unit, I think they're renting few rooms. And we figure out that he's the host. So he's not a she.
Yeah, yeah.
He is a he. So we figure out the whole in like, because you've been saying in one place, you'll figure out a lot of
Yeah.
things. And then so
What did they do? Actually they're a couple.
they also did something.
They're
Like
a couple.
they're gonna change the booking into something.
Yeah.
And then they said
So we had
you don't
to
need to message the Airbnb and something about the schedule.
no. They wanted us to cancel the booking online.
Original and stay for this amount of time.
Yeah, so we booked 30 days, but since the Airbnb they were renovating it, so they wanted us to cancel it for our booking, but they couldn't transfer us to the other place. So they wanted us to accept the cancellation, and then we'll just stay on the other place under the radar. So not on the platform. So we did. So for example,
And no, but the thing is, the guy keeps on saying, "Trust us."
yeah.
I was like, I don't trust you. There's no document in this situation, and the date is only for 3 days.
So they wanted us to accept the cancellation, but not move us to a different booking. So under the radar. So what it looks like on the platform is that we don't have any booking that exists. So that's why April was like, "Oh, you want us to trust?" Well, that's the backstory. So that's why we were like, our senses, our spidey senses were like, something's wrong. We don't wanna. So we were like, I don't wanna accept your cancellation without you moving us.
And having this conversation is not in Airbnb app. Because
Yeah.
like, the way is they're gonna give you a WhatsApp and they're
Yeah.
gonna have a message. I was like,
But it's the same person.
this is already a red flag to me. If there's a concern about my accommodation, how come you can't message me on my Airbnb? You're
Yeah.
having because I know like Airbnb. In order for them to be in touch with your problem, you need to settle it inside the Airbnb. Otherwise, they don't have anything to do about
If you guys, this is something you should also be aware of.
Yeah.
Or actually in anywhere, in any platform.
Mhm.
Once you take your conversation out of the platform, it's no holds bar. Like that's on you.
Yeah.
So for example, you are dealing with what are other platforms that you discuss, like in Singapore there's Carousel, eBay or whatever. Airbnb, sorry. But once you have a conversation outside, it becomes a personal question that they cannot intervene. So we were what would happen is, since we thought he was a nice host, we were there, oh yeah, let's chat it up in WhatsApp, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But what I would do is, because we didn't wanna make it seem like we were so untrustworthy as well. So she's like, oh, if you arrive late, here's my WhatsApp. That's how it usually starts. So
Yeah.
for us it was okay, well, it's fine, we'll just message you then. But any changes, what I would do is also send a message of what we talked about in the Airbnb plan. So I would say, oh, as we discussed, we're moving to, because you told us the property had an issue and you're trying to move us here. But we never accepted the move. So I think that he was trying to move, not the move, the cancellation. He was trying to cancel the first booking to the second booking because he had a lot of properties. But he said he couldn't figure out how to move us. So
Mel says he's gonna, if he can't figure out how to move us, we'll just gonna reach out to Airbnb to move us.
Yeah, and that's when he got mad. I think
because based on our background, like we know how things work in the back. So I was like, I'm not gonna let you fix this under the table.
Yeah.
I will let it be documented,
Yeah.
and Airbnb knows. So the guy, like the guy's emotion changes. Like, do you not trust me?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't trust you. I don't even know you.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Do you trust a stranger?
The word trust me, I was like, this is dodgy from
You tell your kids like, don't talk to strangers, and then suddenly you're adult. Trust me, I'm a stranger. So I think that's when things
you
took for
don't
a
even
turn.
have a profile photo. It's just a emoji or something.
That's when the things took a toll. So and the worst part was that was just only the beginning of the trip. So that was the beginning of the trip. We had these conversations, blah blah blah, and then so Airbnb sorted it out because we were talking to the Airbnb, and then they Airbnb called the host,
Mhm.
and then they sorted it out. Maybe the guy actually knew, but that was the beginning of the
The
horror
horror
story.
story.
So what happened next?
Because like we settled the whole thing, right? So maybe the host got upset from what we did, but like that's the rules. Like you should document it. Like the guest shouldn't have a file in it. You're not gonna go under the table to fix everything. So I was like, so we settled it. So I thought we're really good. And then
What did they do?
did it start today or after a few days?
Quite a few after a few days.
And then maybe in my mind, well, after this, I was like, who the heck? So I was like, because the house is like wood floors, and it's not really like, the walls where you can't really hear people outside. It's freaking loud. We can actually hear someone from the top having, how do I say this? Their personal, I don't know how to put it into words.
They were expressing their emotions.
Expressing their love so much. I think that's the right word.
Night.
Not even at night. It's morning, afternoon, like
Random hours of
4 times a day.
but they were making it explicitly loud.
And I feel like it's already recorded or something.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
You really?
No.
I feel like they're just doing the stumping. They're like literally and
It's
then
really, really
really
loud.
loud. They're doing their best to like let us.
And the worst was like 3 a.m., 4
4
a.m., 2 a.m.
That's
So
why we can't really sleep. They're torturing us. And that's why we figured out that that's the host.
how?
Because when we went out, right, the guy went up with the lady. Remember?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
When he went out, he went up?
He says, no, remember when we checked in? He
Yeah.
says, if you need anything, I'm on
Or
top.
just upstairs?
I'm just upstairs. I was like, obviously that's them.
Yeah.
Because
He checked us in.
if he's actually pissed at us, because he probably didn't get his agenda of getting money from us and kick us out
Yeah.
even if whenever they want to. But then, yeah.
Let me play devil's advocate here
Mhm.
and swap it around. What if they just are very intimate and you're only
No,
you're
not
only
even
thinking we're only thinking that they do it on purpose. Well, how do we know that they're not just
Actually think about it. Like maybe they're trying to have a baby or something.
Yeah.
I don't care. Let's just have what do you call this? Let's empathize. Like no, they're probably going through something, so we tried our best. And then they turned off our heater, and it's freezing. It's like winter. Is it winter?
almost
And the freaking water is like ice cold. So we've been showering for what, 3 weeks?
I think around 2 weeks
Yeah.
of ice cold shower. It's
Because again, we're gonna go back to how we started. They move us to the
a
area
place underneath
place.
us.
that is much bigger. They're saying and it's much more expensive.
Yeah.
So they're probably pissed off, and they're just like, just leave. They're probably forcing us in a different way that we're not supposed.
I think the reason why we think, because to our heads, like we were always thinking about, maybe this is not on purpose. Like maybe they are
Yeah,
just trying to
always
have a
thinking about
baby.
that.
Maybe they are.
And we think about maybe this different person. Maybe someone's checking in. Someone.
But the thing that irked us the most was it was like 3 a.m. and then when we did make noises about, because it was loud.
And they're playing loud music too.
Yeah. So when we were making noise, that signified that we were up because of that. Because you can't really sleep. So what I would do is just my body clock was now like upside down now. So I would just watch TV and play it really loud as well. So that way
And
they
it
also
really affects your mental thing if you can't really
sleep. So they would know that we're awake. So they would settle down. That's why we're in our heads. Maybe they're doing it on purpose.
Yeah, because it's too constant.
Because they know that they know that we know, kind of thing. And then
Because that's how like the house is not like you can clearly hear someone walking
yeah.
on the way to the toilet, like flushing a toilet. You can hear everything.
And so we also thought the reason why we thought it was also on purpose was more on towards the end, because what happens is when we moved out, because what happens is, so for example, you book your Airbnb for a period of time, and you can't really cancel your Airbnb once you're already there, because imagine if you are a owner of the Airbnb and you rent it out for a week or a month. If your guest moves out, the owner kind of loses, because then nobody else can book the
Yeah.
Airbnb. So the reason why we know they were trying to kick us out without, getting the consequences, because if we left early, then they would have already gotten our money,
Mhm.
and they wouldn't have, they can essentially try to book someone else's. So if you remember at the start of the story, they were trying to not put us in the platform. So what would happen is, if they kicked us out without us having that third day in the platform, somebody else can book the Airbnb. And so another thing is, when we actually kind of gave up on 1 or 2 days, so we couldn't last the 30 days, and then we went early. They didn't even try to ask, why are you leaving early. There was no question. He was like smirking when we
And you
gave
know
up.
how we found out they know we're moving? The
We're
moment
waiting.
we went out, the guy was already
Waiting
waiting
on us.
in front of the door.
Because the plan was
That's
to
crazy.
the plan was to sneak out of the Airbnb. We didn't want to
So I was
actually.
like, I already paid for it. I'm not gonna let you know.
If we left,
I'm just gonna leave the key inside where the box
We-
is.
we were-
They have a lockbox, so we know where to put it back.
we were as quiet as, like, we were trying to be sneaky, really quiet, and that's when we understood that they knew all our movement, because
And that's why I knew that they're the ones leaving upstairs, because he literally went
when
down.
we even tried to slow down,
Yeah.
to come down
And
the
we paused, and he's already there on top of the
smirking.
stairs, smiling at us.
Smirking.
It's creepy.
And then when we gave him the key, he was just smiling at us. He didn't even say, he didn't ask, but it was a bit early. So that's when everything, because when things were happening and the shower was being turned off, the internet was being
They're
turned off,
torturing us.
the noises were
So wild.
happening. We were still giving the benefit of the doubt. Like, I think for us, that's our normal state of mind. Like, we don't want to put malice into. We don't want to assume malice first. Like, oh, maybe they're just busy.
Well, that's why I booked that Airbnb. You know why? I didn't jump into a conclusion when I actually saw a few bad reviews
Yeah.
on that account, because I think for that account to have 4.4 or 4.6,
Superhost.
that's still a lot.
Superhost.
Super
And
host.
also like hundreds
I
of.
was like, I usually give them still a benefit of the doubt that this host is still good. Like, I'm not like perfect type of guest. I'd be like, oh, I need a 5 so I can stay here. I'm not like that. So that's why we went there, because I was like, maybe that's just probably the guest
Yeah.
problem, not the host.
Yeah.
That's why I booked it. But then, yeah, after that experience, I was like confirming, is it us? Is this the problem?
Yeah.
Are we the
Oh, we have a
problem?
pretty good profile.
Found out after us.
There was also a
there.
sustained.
There was already a lot of guests after that moving forward that police also got involved.
Yeah.
They put like a note about how crazy the host is, where he needs to call the police so he can just go out of there safely. I was like, jeez. I was like, thank God that didn't
I
happen.
think we didn't escalate on purpose, because we are a guest in the country, so we didn't speak the language. Like, how do you even? So we try to hold out as much as you can.
Who's
Like,
gonna even help you out? Like,
that's one of the caveats of traveling without, like, knowing the language. So you can get taken advantage of, but I guess, like, we didn't let it deter us from, continuing our journey. And it's not Airbnb's fault. Like,
it's not.
to me, a lot of the other travelers I've seen, or some people as well, like, they blame the platform rather than, because it doesn't take away from all the positive experience, because we did meet a lot of good people in Airbnb
Yeah,
as well.
there's a
Like,
lot of good hosts.
like 95%, we met so many friends, and in Budapest we met this
Vietnam.
so many, right? So the thing is, like, it also I don't want to say like this is the worst experience that is tied to the country.
That's why I said I don't want to say worst country because it's just based on your.
It's just so happened that our experience happened in
That
Turkey,
country, yeah.
and
And
then we
it's
were,
specific Airbnb. So we don't want to generalize that the countries were just because of that
yeah.
experience.
I guess like that is our worst experience in general.
In general.
It could have happened anywhere, to be honest. It could have happened in Vietnam. It could have happened in Thailand. It could have happened in. It's not a reflection of the country. So
Is
that's
that your worst?
And that's where our camera decided to turn off in the middle of our podcast because it overheated. Very. Well, thankfully, the camera was still able to capture half of our podcast. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Anyways, that's our first podcast, and hope you guys like it. And if you're interested in this type of video, let us know in the comment down below of what topic you want us to discuss next in our video, or if there is any information or anything that you want us to do next podcast. And as well, if you don't like it, let us know in the comments down below because it will help us on our future videos. And yeah, please don't forget to subscribe to this video, guys. We do appreciate you so much. Thank you for believing in us, joining us in our journey, and more to come. We love you guys so much. We'll catch you guys again in our next video. And yeah, bye everyone.